As you can see from the mess on my desk, you're about to see whether or not there's any audible difference between any of these sound cards when it comes to podcasting. Let's get into it. Welcome to the channel, folks. My name's Shane. Today we're going to go through some of my sound cards, some of which I've had for a very long time. I've had this for probably 6 years now. This is the ZOOM R16, the Behringer UMC22. We have the M Audio M Track, and lastly we have the Steinberg UR22MK II, which I actually have two of. Now, first things first, I purchased all of this stuff that's on the table. This is a collection over many years. Some of the stuff's newer, like the UR22MK II, as well as the Behringer. I did a video on this a little while back as the best budget podcast setup. If you want to find out more about that, I'll leave a link up in the cards here. You can see that video as well. So I'm interested to see whether or not there's an audible difference with a microphone like this Rode Procaster. The reason I'm choosing this microphone is it requires a whole lot of signal, which will determine whether or not any of the preamps in these sound cards or audio interfaces are actually noisy or not, because we're going to have to crank it right up. So we're going to be recording straight into my Mac via the USB cable. So let's get into it. So what you're about to hear coming up is this microphone going through the Steinberg UR22MK II straight into my Mac, and I'm using Final Cut Pro 10 as the actual recording software just because it's easy. So what you're about to hear now is the Rode Procaster, and I've got the gain cranked 3/4 of the way up on the Steinberg. I'm going to stop talking and see if there's any noise. I won't be applying any gates or anything like that to the audio. So what you're hearing right now is simply the Procaster going through the Steinberg straight into the Apple Mac. Up next is the M Audio M Track audio interface. Exactly the same setup. We have the Rode Procaster going into that, and I've got the gain set at about the same spot on the actual pot. So they look very similar and they sound about the same volume in my headphones. What I'll probably do in post-production is just adjust the levels, and only the levels, so they're all comparable. So one doesn't sound better just because it's louder. I think that's an important thing to do. That doesn't mean I'm adding any effects. Scroll back, have a listen to the Steinberg, scroll back forward, have a listen to the M Audio and see if this is any better. Now, I was using this on my main YouTube channel for quite a number of years, and I thought it might be time to upgrade because I've had it for such a long time. And then I went for the Steinberg UR22MK II. Both are great units. How does this one sound? I'll stop talking. Is there more ambient noise or hiss or anything like that? Could you hear the birds outside? Anyway, on to the next one. Over to the Behringer UMC22. This is a great little audio interface, and it's one of the least expensive ones you can find. And the reason this is a really good setup is because you can change microphones and still take advantage of these as well. This particular Procaster microphone is going straight into the Behringer. The Behringer is going straight into my computer, and that's the audio that you're hearing. I'll stop talking and we'll see if there's any noise. To my ear, and this is just to my ear, it actually sounds less noisy than this, but I guess we'll find that out in post. But overall, it's a great little unit. When I put my best budget podcast setup together, I actually use this audio interface, and the reason I went for this particular type of setup is because, you know, if you don't want a budget mic, you can still use a microphone like this with an audio interface like that, and it should hopefully still sound pretty good. Let me know in the comments which one you like the best so far. And we're going to go over to the ZOOM R16, which is an absolute beast. So let's get into it. And lastly, what you're hearing right now is the audio from the ZOOM R16 unit. I've got it hooked up exactly the same way. Microphone, XLR cable in, USB cable to the computer, and straight into Final Cut. Now, this was the only audio interface with the Mac that I had to actually install drivers. So if you're on a Mac, you know that's really easy. With PC, you need drivers for all of these units, and they're easy to find, so it's no big deal. But one of the huge advantages of the R16 over all of these is you don't actually need the computer. You can record straight to it. So if you've got multiple people in the room doing a podcast, you've got up to 8 channels. Only 2 of those, though, can be used with phantom power, but these microphones don't require it. So that's pretty cool. These are a really great unit. I use them with my band all the time. I'll just stop talking, and we'll see if there's any noise. That's the official noise test right there, just stopping. Now, in terms of sound quality, was the R16 any better than any of the others? Scroll back, have a listen, let me know in the comments as well. Now, I wanted to put this video together because I really feel like there's not a lot of difference in today's day and age between any of these sound cards, and these are all at different prices as well. I'll leave some links in the description below. The main thing that you want to buy is the one that you need. So if you need 8 inputs, you'd go for something like the R16. It's nice and portable. You don't need the computer. It sounds fine. If you need only 1 input, go for something like the Behringer, or if you want to play it safe, the UR22 is a great option as well. I actually have another UR22 back behind my silver play button back there. I like these sound cards a lot. I use them for a lot of voiceover stuff I do on my videos, as well as just having them plugged into those studio monitors you see back there. These do the job. Anytime I'm recording my band, for example, I'll take the R16 because I've got 8 tracks. If you get a second one, you get 16 tracks that you can sync up. It's a really handy unit. So if you're having more than one person in the room doing a podcast, definitely get something with 2 mic inputs. It's definitely the way to go. If you want to find out more about this gear, links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. My name's Shane. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. If you have any questions about anything, whether it be the setup, the microphone, the audio interfaces, or whatever, please let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I try to get back to everybody. Now, in terms of what overall is my favorite right now, I have to say it's the Steinberg UR22MK II. This is a really great unit. I have 2 of these. If you're on a budget, go for the Behringer. These things are awesome. I can't recommend them enough. They're very, very simple, but if you only need the 1 microphone, this is the way to go. If you want more, if you want 2, then go for the Steinberg. I'll leave some links to some that might have 4 inputs as well, if that's something that you're looking for also. You can record vocals with these, you can record acoustic guitar or anything that you choose to. I've even used these for loud electric guitar and all that kind of stuff in this particular room. So you can use them for all kinds of audio stuff and definitely for a podcast, no questions about it. It seems to pair pretty favorably, at least to how I'm hearing it with this mic as well. But let me know. Thanks again for watching. Catch you soon. See ya.